Board regular meeting for Wednesday, August 14th, 2024 in session. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hammond? Okay. Sorry, I missed that. Okay, I'll read the mission statement. The Logansport Parks and Recreation Department is committed to building a vibrant and healthy community for future generations through accessible recreational facilities and programs that promote physical health, social engagement, conservation, and cultural appreciation. Okay, reminder to all visitors, please sign in with your names and address and at the podium. We all received a copy of the minutes from the July 10th regular meeting and also our July 24th special meeting. Everybody have a chance to look at those? Does there need to be any additions or subtractions? Okay, with none, then we will move on to new business. Park Board Resolution 2024-08, acceptance of management of urban park, now known as the
Iron Horse, not Depot.
Okay.
Iron Horse Park.
Iron
Horse Park.
Yeah,
And see, it's not right, particularly right here either, so we'll get.
the Iron Horse Park. Anything else you want to add?
Yes, the Board of Works did approve this letter and asked you as Parks Board to maintain and preserve the Iron Horse Park as a public space in the city of Logansport. The Iron Horse Park is, for the most part, done. I mean, certainly it can be, you can have events or people there using restrooms and looking at the historical displays. We do have we still have a ping pong table and a foosball table on order to be put into the game court area. Utilities have yet to do lamp posts and electrical pedestals. Landscaping in front of the depot. Kevin and his staff did a really terrific cleanup job, but it's ready for somebody professional to go in and do it right. So that's one other thing has to be done. What else, Kevin?
Is there a splash pad too?
Oh, yeah. And so there is a plan for a splash pad in that big open area there between the depot and the signal bridge, but the money has not been approved yet. The request is going to RDC here in a couple weeks. So, but anyway, it's not a splash pad like we have at Muehlhausen. It's more of a bubbler. Everything is. There won't be any equipment above ground. It'll all be coming up from below. More fountain-like than anything. So that's the work that still has yet to be done. Of course, this is where the new Christmas tree is going to go as well. And Kevin has some plans as far as you have to put anchors into the concrete to hold it. It's a big tree. So anyway, but we did have the ribbon cutting today, and we got the inside of it looks really terrific. So, and what I was trying to say is, I think we left it open for farmers market, and so after we're done, if you're interested in going to stop by and take a look at it, it's open. So, okay, and it will the family style restroom will be open all our regular park hours from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. And then the rest of the inside will be open for public events, the farmers market, summer sundowns, music series. Whenever there's a gathering of a lot of people, we can have it open for those things. And We're talking about, we have still some issues, not issues, but processes to work out, I guess, and we'll get there, so. Any questions? Anybody out there have any questions?
Looks real nice.
I also have to say, Brian Kistler of Brian's Painting did all the painting on the signal bridge, and it looks wonderful. It really does, and I'm really proud of how well that came out, so.
I'd say just real quickly, there's a section down there, it's about the size of that wall to the door, that's like a timeline historical thing. And for all the worry about history and stuff like that, when I read that, it's like, wow. I mean, I know now more about trains in Logansport by reading the wall than all the years of doing Iron Horse festivals and that kind of stuff. I mean, so I think it's does the job, and they've got a monitor there to have a little presentation. So I think when people hate porta potties, they love restrooms, they're going to come into this air-conditioned building for whatever you got going on, whatever festival or whatever, and they're going to see that history. And I think the purpose is going to be that they're going to have that. I mean, it's going to make a good impression when it walks into that from the outside community. It's not just toilets.
Anybody else? So do I have a motion to accept Parks Board Resolution 2024-08, a resolution of Logansport Park and Recreation Board to accept the transfer and management of the Iron Horse Park and surrounding land of the Logansport Parks Department?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Parks Board Resolution 2024-08 is passed.
Woo-hoo!
See if you're woo-hooing it. Keep that woo-hooing for a few more months.
One more thing.
Yeah. Okay.
The
Parks
next,
Board Resolution 2024-09, use of DORA standards for special events at Heritage Park, Little Turtle Waterway, and the Iron Horse Park.
so, it probably didn't come out quite, what I gave you was all the markups. So you can see what we removed and what we changed, okay? So, basically what this does is to accommodate the DORA, the designated outdoor refreshment area, the new ordinance that allows people to buy an alcoholic beverage in one location with the appropriate signage in the business, and also on the cup. They are able to walk from place to place with that cup in their hand. And so if that's, if that's the way things are going to happen in downtown, then it means that we don't have to have a designated area for people to stay and drink in, which is one of the things that's on our current thing. And we don't have to have police as security. Not that, and especially then you still have a security, I guess, but for the alcohol itself, it's been relieved, I guess. We don't have to worry about that so much. And so what I think we need to do, especially in our permitting process, we still have a permit process for somebody to have a special event where they're serving alcohol in our park. They will have to do the DORA application along with that. And so that's the direction we're going to go. So it doesn't matter whether you have whether you want it or not, you have to get it, is what we're gonna say. You have to get a DORA permit as well, because otherwise it's just too confusing for people. And so if we're gonna do it, we just need to go forward and do it, so. What I did include in your packets also was, I gave you the marked up copy, but it also included ordinance 23-38 that was approved at the council's February meeting. And so, in all the materials, you'll see on this, you see a map of where the DORA area is. So all of High Street, Broadway from I know, it's all that section from along Broadway, or along 6th Street up to Broadway, over to that number, is that number 6, I think. The one there on the bottom is the neighbor, what is it called? What avenue is that one?
Neighborhood or?
The avenue, something on the
It's the
avenue.
Avenue, on Erie Avenue. It's the Avenue.
Yeah, on Erie Avenue, that's what that one is. And then the one over here by the Eel River is the Riverview.
Right, restaurant.
So, the River Restaurant, right, so.
So then this goes clear over to the new event
It
center?
goes to the new event center, it does not take Riverside Park into it. Now, if you want to change that, this is the time to do that.
I mean, I don't have a problem with that, but I just think that's gonna be really, really tough to monitor. I mean, in my opinion, I mean.
And you're wrong. I mean, I think, in general, I think the idea is you stop at any one of these red dots and you get a drink and then you go off and drink down the sidewalk. Riverside's a long way from the last place you get a plastic cup.
Well,
I mean, so unless we had someplace that was selling alcohol if we sell it in the park, then it'd be a different deal. But I think you're gonna have people here.
but
The event center is gonna sell alcohol.
Yeah, the event center is not selling,
It's not
yeah,
part of
they're
DORA
not,
yet.
they're not on this list.
And I
Are
don't
they?
believe Emilio's is either.
No, Emilio's isn't either.
Emilio's joined.
They did join, okay.
But I guess my question is that, okay, with that being said, is sometime down the road, does the event center say, we want to be part of this? I mean, to me,
You gotta include the park.
I would think they would want to. I don't know. But I just, you cut it off right at that parking lot,
Yeah.
and then you have the rest of the park. So if they do join this, and you have somebody that walks out of there and is just over watching basketball, you're outside that zone.
Right.
Yeah, but you don't want people just walking in that park drinking either.
I
Yeah, that's what we're saying.
I wholeheartedly agree with you, but you know as well as I do, somebody will. I mean,
Well,
unfortunately.
they may mistakenly do. I mean, they may not even know. They just walk outside and go walk over and watch the basketball. They're not even thinking about, is this in the zone? Is it not in the zone? Is it, I don't know.
Right, like when people are buying drinks, how are they informed of this DORA thing?
There's gonna be a little sticker on their cup, where it's a cup with that logo on it, and it's with a QR code, but also each business that is selling alcohol under the DORA thing has the information posted on there. I was just noticing,
There's one downstairs. There's either a sticker that says it's DORA accepted or whatever, but like downstairs on this building, it says this is not a DORA location, so you can't bring your drink in. So you kind of have to look in the door and see.
There should be like a sticker on the business's door,
There's on
right there.
the entrance door. So like here it's saying, you cannot bring a drink into the city building.
so, I mean, we'd about have to put something up. If
We're gonna
you
have to
don't
put up a
want them at
sign.
Riverside, they have to put something up along that parking lot. Then we do not want,
What about the rest of these parks? Do we need to put signage up that says alcohol not permitted on park property, even though you're in the Dora zone? Because otherwise, are we gonna have people just walking through Little Turtles drunk as a skunk because it's here?
See, they should have a Dora cup. So that's the tricky thing is.
I know, but they still can't be drinking on park property even if they have a Dora cup, right? Or is this
no, that's what this is,
permission?
Right,
that's
that's
what
where
you're gonna allow to do.
That's where you'd have the designation, either that you have downstairs, there's a sticker that says, this park is not a Dora location, or it is a Dora.
We have to decide if we want the parks in the shaded area to be a door location.
Actually, you don't have any say in it.
Where's that?
It's already been designated.
These numbers here. red dots.
Where's
Yeah, 'cause
that?
these are the businesses.
It's gonna start it. And they basically, my understanding is that they're going to, those businesses that are selling alcohol,
On item number 12.
pay
in the-
$1 and you get that cup.
On the
and they-
council
they leave
resolution.
with it. But if you're gonna sit in that same restaurant, you wouldn't buy a Dora cup.
Yeah, it cuts off right there, look at that.
Yeah.
It already says on item number 12 that Farmers Market, Urban Park, Little Turtle Waterway, and Heritage Park are allowed in that area.
I actually don't mind those ones as much, it's not as much as like a park per se, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? You don't catch kids just playing at that park all the time.
Well, I just think if the event center opens up to sell alcohol, then you gotta include Riverside Park.
If they don't have the Dora cup, they can't walk outside with that. So
Right, you
that's
gotta
the-
have a Dora cup.
Right.
But we're out in these other parks. How do you say not Riverside Park when the event center to me is in Riverside Park?
But they're not offering it yet.
No, not yet, but I know they're going for alcohol.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't think I don't believe they're encouraging people to come for an event there and then walk away from the event. Now, maybe they are, but I mean, if you had a wedding or something like that.
Well, I don't think they're doing that either, so
Well, no,
you're
I don't
saying they're not
think-
gonna apply for a do Dora.
Right.
I don't think any of our business, any of our places are encouraging that.
Right.
But at the end of the day,
That's the whole point, is they can leave with their cup.
And they can
That's
then
the whole
take
point.
that, you pay $1 extra for the cup, and then you can take that cup to another business and have them fill it up with their
Right.
beer.
Right.
And then you can go, I mean,
You can travel with it.
You buy the cup one time. when
It has to be a Dora business, though.
Right,
Yeah.
well, yeah,
You can't go-
right.
You can't go to another
Yeah.
business and
Yeah.
expect them to fill it up for you.
Right.
So, anyway. Well, part of the reason that this is somewhat urgent is because the roosters are there before your next meeting. So,
They won't drink, I'm sure.
with selling beer. Yeah, if you don't want to sign this right now, then the roosters have to live within that park right now. And I'm okay with that. We'll tell them that, but that's one of the things that they'll have to do.
So, they're gonna be at the urban park, right? They're gonna be at the urban park?
Little
Yeah.
Turtle?
So the urban park is already included.
It's already on here, Little Turtle's already on.
it's already on there.
And so is when you say the little turtle,
Yeah.
it's just the plaza. you guys. It's
Yeah.
just kind of
It's already-
the plaza When you walk out the door, and it's across from the depot. So it's not like people can just go walking all around willy-nilly, like they're just gonna go across from the depot. I mean, this map is really well laid out. And the event center at Riverside Park has not signed up to be in the Dora. It only goes that far. So if I want to go to the Black Dog and get a drink and walk to an event at the event center, then I can do that. But they're not going to take my cup and give me a drink.
Oh,
They're
fill
not
it up.
signing up for that. I can just go there with my drink cup, and then they say, we don't do this, and I throw it in the trash.
I'm questioning why anybody from any resolution would have said, let's take Little Turtle and the urban park and all that and put them in these areas where people can just walk around with cups in their hand, drinking all the time.
Because that is where they have festivals. This is where you have festivals, this is where you do different
So-
events. So it's
Yeah.
just, it's down here on Melbourne Avenue is where they're
Right.
talking about.
I mean,
So what happens after 10 o'clock when the parks revert to private property?
You should come up to the microphone.
I'm just, you know what I'm saying? Because at 10 o'clock, parks become private property. They're closed, you can't go into them. So if at 11 o'clock at night, people are walking around the park with their cup in their hand, are they trespassing? Are they illegally drinking on the park property? Are they what's the process for that?
If there's an event going on down there, then they're gonna look past that.
Well, if there's an event, then they've signed it
Well,
out.
that's what
you know,
we're
at
talking about,
time.
basically. And
Well, I'm talking about a regular Saturday night when somebody walks out of Emilio's and just decides to take their cup.
but Emilio's at the moment is not on here.
Well, any bar, any of them that are, is what I'm talking about.
It's not on
She says they're
the
on.
map, but they are, but they're not in here.
Well,
I'd say that's only for special events.
So it says doors are of 11 a.m. to midnight. So basically,
I mean,
your parks, you could have someone until midnight with
I
have a
mean,
beer.
it's basically happening in a lot of places all over the country. I
Oh, yeah.
mean, you know, you go to, and I get it, what I'm about to say is a bigger city, but you go to Cincinnati, you go to a Reds game, you can walk 2 blocks by that stadium with any kind of alcohol you want to have in your hand, and go up to any other place and get a refill. It's the same way in Chicago. I mean, it happens. I mean, I think it's,
And I'm not opposed to the whole Dora concept. I just am not sure why the parks are open game for it. That's my only.
well, because
They're close to events.
We've already said that you can have your special event with alcohol in the park.
Yep, you just have to have a permit,
It has to be a special event. It can't be just
willy-nilly.
willy-nilly. It has to be a special event, but we've already given them permission years ago to do that.
And it's also a lot of smaller cities than Indianapolis
Sure.
and Chicago have done this. This is what communities are moving towards, is to be able to, be able to buy an alcoholic beverage. This is what really promotes Logansport, being able to have we have the Science Project, the Black Dog. I know that I'm not thinking of all of them right now, but that's the whole purpose of it. And, maybe that's not your lifestyle. Maybe that's not your social event, that you go to the Science Project and get a drink, and you go to the Black Dog, and then you go to Bonus Pines. Maybe that's not your social event, but it's a social event for a lot of people, and that's how you make Logansport downtown. And all these businesses that we've already developed, is how you make it more inviting. And all they're including in this is the Little Turtle Waterway Plaza and the depot. And I also want to inform you guys that they have changed the laws about public intoxication. Like it used to be, if you were stumbling down the street, they could pick you up and say, you're going to jail, you're stumbling on the street. That's not how the law works anymore. They have changed the law for public intoxication. It's very difficult to get arrested. You have to actually be harming yourself to a point of danger or someone else. So it's not like it used to be.
Right.
So
I saw a program the other day where they were debating if DORA is necessary because of the way they've changed the law for alcohol. And so there was a debate back and forth about saying, well, we don't really have that.
And so it's very difficult to get arrested for
Sure,
public
and-
intoxication. And this is, in my opinion, this is harmless to Logansport. And it promotes what we've already been building in Logansport that has taken us years to get. Sure. So I just think that we're the little bit that's carved out is already in the area. And you're gonna walk through Heritage Park, and I don't intend on going to Little Turtle Waterway unless I'm showing it off to someone because I'm proud of it. That's why I go there, but I don't see myself going down there just for an event.
I'm not gonna walk from Bonus Pines to Little Turtle Waterway without an event, just to,
You better get 2 cups.
Well, and my whole thing was with,
One in each hand, right?
my whole thing was with Riverside is if the event center does,
I know those people really well, it didn't cross my mind. I just feel like that's not their intent.
okay,
Like,
that's fine.
It's a whole different thing when you
Sure,
have people in there and you're having an event.
Sure.
Like, I can ask them how they're feeling about that, and I don't know this is just in my personal opinion, I think it's gonna be a no-go for them. They're not gonna let people walk out there. If you've been there for a wedding for 2 hours, they're not gonna let you walk out of there with a drink in your hand.
Well, from what I gather from people is that we have a lot of entertainment going on. And so you can walk from the Black Dog to Bonus Pints or to, wherever.
Oh.
And so some people are,
See different
they,
band or
yeah,
whatever.
I mean, out sitting there finishing your drink.
Yeah.
And then, I think this really is kind of a downtown entertainment, and, you can take your drink and go over there and.
The old style's in this too? Is that what?
Yeah, it was Renoir, but at the time, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
It's a new name, but yes, it is in it.
And I guess it would be U-Notes is, that's
Right.
there.
Like, they're in there. Well, when they first started this, you guys, when they first brought this to council, they only had 2 businesses that were even interested in it.
Yeah.
And it was like Bonus Pints and Black Dog or Bonus Pints, and I forget who it was, but there were only 2, and we said, look, if we're gonna do this, go out and, beat up some more customers, because that's what we're looking for.
I have no problem with it, other than the fact that if by some chance the event center does decide to do it, we need to address the Riverside Park area.
Yeah, I'm not down for Riverside Park games.
Well, and if we get to that point, then there's a new question, which is, if we're gonna do that, then we ought to be in the business of selling alcohol down there too.
Well, I
Which would
agree,
make us more
but
money for our parks.
I just want to make sure, though, that we cover ourselves in
Right.
that.
I mean, look at the alcohol at the golf course, that years ago, there was a big controversy, should we have alcohol at all in any of the parks, and then the golf course isn't, and they got a pretty decent number of what they sell.
Yeah.
Versus people, it used to be, the men's league at Riverside, they'd have beer in their trunk, and, there was a lot of,
So-
Truck underneath
so
the-
Yeah, it was like this.
Before we move on from Riverside, though, the Squeal on the Eel takes place at Riverside.
Right.
And they do sell beer there. I think it's just beer for the late afternoon and evening. It's a special event, so we're not encouraging drinking at other times in the park.
I think the defining factor is, if you got the Squeal and Eel, they're gonna say, we wanna sell beers. The Dora is, you pay $1 extra for that cup to be mobile. So, if you're at the Squeal and Eel and you don't intend to walk down to, Renoir or whatever, you would not spend another $1 to get a cup that make you mobile. You're gonna stay right there in that area and listen to the.
That's what I think, too.
So I think, right, so I think she's talking, if we did get pushed into that, I think that realistically, this is, I've already had people like complain to me about, I had to pay $1 for the cut, all right. But, and so they're making a little bit of money, the Logan's Landing people making, there's some little bit they're making to help, so, yeah. But, yeah.
What Jason said is right, like after 10 o'clock, what happens? Does Dora just override our alcohol in the park rules after 10 o'clock?
This says they go till midnight for
Yeah.
Dora, but right now the Dora ends there, so technically, you can't, you can't, right now you can't go into Riverside
Again,
Park.
it's an event,
Yeah.
because does the Squeal and the Eel end at 10 o'clock?
No, I mean like that little turtle. I can go tonight by Dora
You could, a little turkey,
and get,
yes,
and get drunk at,
We're talking about events.
to 11,
till midnight.
till midnight.
I mean, we're talking about events, I'm talking about the normal run-of-the-mill Saturday night.
Yeah, that's his
Logansport,
concern, I think.
that they're gonna be in the park with that, because they're gonna say, oh, the park's part of Dora. So I can walk in there, it's 11:15 at night.
But you can only go, Dora is only applicable when there's a special event going on.
No.
Well, no, not for anybody
At the
else.
park,
No, Little Turtle.
The Waterway Plaza is included, and the Heritage.
It's included.
Yeah, it'll be.
It's not just
any
on a
night of the
special
week.
event, it's any night of the week.
I guess it's a moot point, because if you're in there after 10, you're trespassing technically anyway, whether you have alcohol or not.
Right.
So, if the police are driving by and it's 10:30 and somebody's in the park, they should kick them out. I mean, because that's private property.
okay, so
Right.
it says, any establishment that desires to be a vendor shall submit a Logansport special event permit with the state form to the clerk treasurer's office to be approved by the Board of Public Works and Safety. The approved vendor locations for special events are located on Exhibit D in yellow. So,
What number is that?
number 12 on the council's ordinance. It's the third page.
So that's your part.
But it says for a special event,
Right, so those are your parks.
yes. And that's what, so I would say, so I don't think it applies to your normal everyday.
But for
Event,
bonus
bingo
points and them, it's
It can
every
be
day.
all the time, yeah,
Yeah, if you got a door.
But
I know.
you're still in this area, to where if you're at Bonus Pints and you want to walk over to Little Turtle Waterway, you're in that shaded area.
But that green area is the special event locations,
It's on the ordinance.
right?
Okay,
And I can't find it.
so the green area is indicating this different, is what you're saying.
What's it before that? Yeah, it's before.
Okay.
Oh, it's back. Come that way.
So they wouldn't walk through Heritage Park, they would walk
Right,
along Sixth Street.
yep,
That's what it
yep. Hey, to be truthful with you, on a normal night in downtown Logansport with this, hey, they're not walking over, if they're paying that money for that cup, they're not walking over to Little Turtle Waterway, because there ain't nobody over there gonna sell them anything. They're gonna stay within that area. I mean, it is what it is.
Do you know if, the People's Social has
Yeah, I think they're,
applied for it?
I think they're in it.
I do, yes.
I think they're in it.
They did, okay.
Okay.
Because I heard some debate about having, maybe down the road need to have different things because you could fill wine up there, but then you could take that same cup and get beer over here and.
I'm not quite sure I want to put.
I'm just saying,
beer in a
that was one that I
had
just,
wine in it.
I just
but okay.
heard some of that debate.
That's uncivilized.
Do you want to postpone this for a month?
Well, I mean, I don't,
I would say.
The Roosters are gonna need to have this.
Roosters are
before-
gonna need to have this. I mean, I don't
They
think
can go,
it's.
they can go without it if they,
I mean, are they selling, do they sell door, are they allowed to
What are we
sell
voting
door
for?
cups?
What exactly are we voting for here?
What exactly what are we voting exactly? What is the motion we're voting exactly?
to approve resolution
2024-09 use of
24-09.
door standards for special events at Heritage Park, Little Turtle Waterway, and the Iron Horse Park.
So we're just approving for special events.
That's what alcohol in our parks
In our
has always
parks.
been about.
But
special event.
special
They have
events.
to, as always, they have to fill out a permit, like they always have, but if they want to be
Right.
part of this door, they have to fill out something else as well. So,
Okay.
I mean, they're still filling out.
So it seems like it's more the opposite way. They'll start at Little Turtle and then one up into downtown. Or am I reading it wrong? You know what I mean? If there's a special event there.
Yeah, I think this is really saying if, I mean, obviously, they can be on number 9, all Bonus Punch, Renoir, La Fiesta, blah, blah, blah. Those are all gonna be all the time happening. And then I think what it's saying is that if there are special events happening, i.e. the Roosters doing whatever they're doing, wherever they're doing it, they're having a beer garden or something like that. So in that case, we're saying we're gonna extend it into the other circuit, and I presume they're probably telling us that they're gonna be there, but, so I don't know that Dora is saying, I'm not sure they're saying, yeah, you can take your beer and go into Little Turtle. I think what they're saying is, in this case, if you have a special event, you can open up Little Turtle to say, yes, they could come from Emilio's, get a drink, walk out into that special event from Emilio's with a Dora cup,
The door cup.
I think. Am I right? Now, I think this is gonna open, I mean, there's gonna be more discussions, I think, down the road, because people are gonna say, yeah, this is like great, but now, if only I could do,
Absolutely.
you know.
Well, then
I
let's
mean,
put this
at
off.
the
Let's put this
baseball
off.
field, you guys would probably wanna have that over there, because the umpires are gonna request that, I think it'd get a lot more excitement in those games.
I think umpires should be able to.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, yeah.
Some of our umpires, it might help their vision. I'm not sure, but I'm just gonna say that.
Why'd you look at me when you said that?
No, I love you as an umpire.
Okay.
You and Trent, but there's some of the, like Vic, Vic could probably use alcohol to help him improve his vision when he's umpiring, but I'm just saying.
I'm just hearing too many questions that,
What are the 3 ordinances that we're repealing in their entirety?
they are the previous ordinances that did not allow alcohol at all. That's the ones for 76, 1, 83, 33. Those two did not allow alcohol at all. And then, I don't see the one that, there should be one for 13 or 12 or something. I can't remember if that's not there. Anyway, the last one was 08-23 that we did to,
You're only allowed to take
what was that one for? I can't remember
two.
why we had to do that one.
So you can't
Was
go
that-
too
Oh, to allow it at Riverside Park.
far. About a 6 block.
Or wasn't didn't the Art Festival or something over at Fairview Park? What was
Yeah,
up with
yeah,
Fairview Park?
that's
We had
right.
to measure the distance of
Yeah.
where we could.
Yes,
sell from the school.
Yeah, yeah.
That was in the Art Festival or whatever it was.
I think that's what it was.
Good memory.
So
Once in a while.
I say put it off for another.
I mean, let's just ask everybody. I mean, I have, my only issue was solved with the event center's probably not going to do that. So I have no other issue with this.
And we could always bring it back up if the event center does it.
Yeah, absolutely. If the event center does, then we can revisit it for Riverside Park, but
But Riverside Park isn't included in this, so we're not talking about Riverside Park.
That's
We're
what,
talking about Little Turtle Waterway.
yeah, I know, but my point was, if it became an issue with the event center,
Yeah.
then we could bring it back up at a later date.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, then we'll just do it like this, and we'll see what happens. So do I have a motion to accept Parks Board Resolution 2024-09?
so moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Parks Board Resolution 2024-09, the use of door standards for special events at Heritage Park, Little Turtle Waterway, and the Iron Horse Park has passed.
Mark that he abstained.
I abstain,
Oh, okay, okay,
because I'm not comfortable.
okay.
Okay, moving on. Old business, memo of understanding with Logansport Community School Corporation table.
You have to take it off the table first before you can discuss it.
Take it off the table.
Do we have a motion to take memo of understanding with Logansport Community School Corporation off the table?
So moved.
Do we have a second? Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Now memo of understanding with the Logansport Community School Corporation, who is already planning a big pickleball tournament.
So we better move on it.
Paint's not even dry yet.
So this isn't any big changes, except they put a lot of words into it. It's still the basic thing. The hours of accessibility was, that part was added. Just a little clearer language on their exclusive use for tennis and their own programs. And, we would always have called and made arrangements for anything we would do on those courts anyway. That's always been the way, but it's more clear, I guess. I don't know how we're supposed to make by the public only for the purpose of tennis and pickleball play. I don't know how we make that, how we decide, make sure that's all that ever happens there, but that's what they're asking us to do, so. Liability stuff, I already sent them a certificate of liability insurance, naming the school corporation, so as additional insured, that's already done. And I don't, I expect they'll have their own signage they'll want, so, They didn't even touch the liability or the indemnity clause. So, duh. So,
There'll be rules by the court, or are they gonna put rules up or anything?
yeah, I'm sure they will.
Okay.
Well, I see, there was somewhere that I read that. Where did I see that?
No alcohol and drug use.
Logansport Parks and Recreation Department and Logansport Community School Corporation shall work together to post the necessary signage that includes the rules. So, yeah, it's on page 2,
Okay.
number 6. So, questions?
I, in general, have voiced my opinion to them, even this case, is that they're I mean, we paid $7,000 to get the lines painted for pickleball, and it saved us build a bunch of pickleball courts. In general, they're making the, I mean, like we're gonna go down and enforce that there's no alcohol, drug use, no bicycles, I mean, come on. I mean, I live up there. There's people there all the time. There's no citizens arrest going on with people, running around, so.
Was bicycles a problem on the old courts? I mean,
Not that I know of. I mean, again, I think this is just, probably somebody one time had a bicycle on there.
Little kids, that's
Yeah.
what little kids, that's the place
Yeah.
little kids would do it, I'm sure, but not a big deal, I wouldn't think.
But it's well.
Yeah, it's not to play volleyball there. I mean, oh, come on, guys. That's, But I mean, it, for all intents and purposes, as much as it was with Fincher Field when we had that agreement, but there was the schools and there was also the parks and I think girls softball, they all kind of shared it. In general, the school's going to maintain that. That's why this is such a good thing for us, is that they're going to maintain it. Any vandalism, we're going to take care of it. I mean, and they say any rules that they, they're going to go to, if they think there's a problem with kids on bikes, they'll go to the police, not us. I think that we were like thinking, well, we got some events there, so we better, play ball. I think it's fine.
I agree. I
I
think
mean, they should be worried about just the liability portion of the thing.
Yeah.
And even there, again, we're liable only if we're holding some kind of parks training, or, so, as it would be anybody else that would rent it, so.
Bottom line of this agreement is that you pay your $7,200.
Right,
Yeah, that was it.
right.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, and then once they realized, I mean, they had not thought of that, and so, we mentioned it to them and said, hey, this would be good, I've seen places you can have pickleball courts on tennis courts, and then they realized that would be wonderful for their gym classes, because, it's not as skilled as tennis is.
Right.
And now, as I say, they're very good.
The paint's not even dry
The
yet.
paint's just barely dry, and they get a tournament there, so, I mean, they didn't see the gold when they first started it, but then now they say, I was surprised when I first mentioned it to them, that they didn't push back immediately, oh, hell no, and it was very much like, oh, huh, well, I mean, they realized quickly, because then they called a few other schools and said, no, they may end up having, a pickleball team,
Yeah.
Well,
schools.
The way it's growing, if it continues to grow, I could see the IHSAA adding it as a sport.
I do too. I think it could be an Olympic sport down the road.
Well, yeah, as
There you go.
popular as it's getting,
Yeah.
absolutely. By 2028, maybe,
Yeah.
so, okay. So, is there anything else we need to do with this?
Nope, just say approve it, go for it.
Okay, so I need a motion to approve the memo of understanding with the Logansport Community School Corporation for the tennis courts / pickleball courts. I need a second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Memo of understanding with Logansport Community School Corporation on the tennis courts and pickleball courts has been passed. Resolution 2024-10, requesting the addition of full-time staff positions.
Two
Two.
additional full-time
Right.
staff positions. So, as you will recall, during our master planning work, It was clear that we were understaffed in both maintenance and recreation. And so I'm asking for one position for each of those categories in our work. I included documentation from the master plan that shows where we are. We did have a 3.6 out of 5-star rating because we were pretty average in our programs, in our facilities, and these two positions would provide further support for both of those activities. There's no doubt about it that we have more work than people to do the work, the maintenance work. There's no doubt that programs and activities need to be enhanced further. So I'm asking for those wages and benefits for the 25 parks budget to include those two positions, one as a recreation assistant and the second as a maintenance assistant. So that would put maintenance up to six maintenance assistants as opposed to plus Kevin, so who actually works as hard as they do every day. So
Kevin's like
Just
two
two.
people.
yes, I know he is. So he can't sustain that though. That's not fair to him. So anyway, so that becomes starting wages between 15 to 17. So they're very it's a starting wage. It's a low-level employee that would gain wages as they continue to do well, for a total of $70,720 in the full-time hourly line item. So anyway, but yes, I included the benchmark comparisons that we had. You'll especially see where it's under staffing. If you look at full-time equivalents for any other park system that has 10 to 19 parks, they have 31 people. So 31 people to help with those parks. So
Right now, we got 13.
we have 13, yeah. So, and then full-time equivalents per 10,000 residents. So we have like 18,000, a little over 18,000. So 10 to 19 parks per 10,000 is 8.9. So even 16 is probably about where we need to be getting to, 16, 17, 18. It's where we need to be. It goes on to talk about budgets, and capital spending, but it says we should be getting $5 million
Yeah.
in capital spending. Oh, that's over 5 years. Maybe that's over 5 years. So anyway.
So this request is basically asking the city council to increase your budget enough to cover this, is what we're at. We're asking, you're requesting.
Yes.
Yes.
Now, it may cut us back on some other capital expenditures. You know, we can't have everything, but I think we need to be working towards having more staff people. We just do. There's so much work. It's hard to keep up with everything that's going on. So it always has been, but one extra person on the maintenance staff a few years ago helped a little bit then. It's time to add another maintenance staff person especially. And if we're going to move forward in doing additional recreation programs, especially in the summertime, such as what we've done this summer, I think if we can do more or have something more consistent, then we've got to have people available that we can count on.
So with the recreation side, so you get this full-time assistant, are we still going to need a summertime assistant as well? Or will
I
this
think we'll
take
cut
care-
back on, we won't have to have as much from summertime help.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Karen and I talked about that, that if she has somebody full-time, that probably we wouldn't need that person could be let's say, we're gonna do like a half-day of summer camp every day. That person could be the person in charge of that or something. I
Okay.
don't know yet, but,
Okay,
yeah,
just a question.
yep.
Anybody else? Do I have a motion to accept Parks Board Resolution 2024-10, a resolution of Logansport Parks and Recreation Board requesting 2 additional full-time positions?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Parks Board Resolution 2024-10, a resolution of Logansport Parks and Recreation Board requesting 2 additional full-time positions is passed. Resolution 2024-11, request 2024 auction proceeds.
We made $2,242.03 from the city auction. I know it's not a lot, but every little bit
Every little bit helps.
makes a difference. We'd like to put that into a Christmas in the Park line item, because we do feel like we'll probably be short again this year, and we have some additional, we're doing more stuff down at Spencer Park, so we're gonna need some additional money to do trees and things like that, so. We've done this every year, though.
Yep.
Last
Yes,
year.
we have. Okay, I have a motion to accept Parks Board Resolution 2024-11, a resolution of Logansport Parks and Recreation Board requesting auction proceeds.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Parks Board Resolution 2024-11 is passed.
I would say, on the comment of that, we might also consider when we start to do this Christmas tree lighting down there, that we might have some way to walk the crowd and ask for donations for Christmas in the park when we're having our big kickoff lighting the Christmas tree downtown or something like that. So I don't know how you do it, but, you have a bucket or something like that and say, we're here to light this thing and, we're asking for contributions to this. And may get some money.
Something to think
Or
about.
we have a scanner for people who can scan.
Something to think about.
It helps, dude.
You want to work that night, right? Okay.
Okay, Administrator's Management Report.
Probably, of course, the biggest work we've been doing here has been about the clubhouse. The Board of Works hearing was today on our recommendation, and so they did vote they voted yes on hiring Shepler and entering into a BOT agreement with them. So now it's up to Shepler and Ice Miller to get the agreement ready to go for the council to approve. So hopefully pretty darn quick. The redevelopment commission did decide on purchasing 10 acres from the Myers family for the new driving range, and we're grateful to you for that, because that makes it, everything else fits into place that way, so.
Yep, sure does.
The Parks Foundation met on August the 7th, and they entered into a notice to proceed with Shepler. If you'll recall, that was one of the things Matt Llewellyn brought up when we were sitting here at our last meeting. And so that process, that's been done, and they're moving forward, I'm thinking, I think so. And then they also did agree to the grant agreement that was drafted, so that it's the agreement to say, yes, we will provide this money to pay those semi-annual bond payments. So, anyway, Dyke and Clark paths are scheduled for September, weather permitting. Just FYI, the Logansport Street Department is helping to haul the old stuff out and the new stuff in. So it'll help reduce the damage to the course because they're not so big. They don't have all those big double wheels and stuff.
Dump
so.
trucks, yep.
We have got our transfers completed for printing of the master plan, and that is at McCord's. KJG has, on the Lower Spencer shelter, they've changed contractors to replace the fascia boards. We had originally thought it would be Scheffler, but they are just like so swamped busy. They weren't going to get it done this year, and so I just said, can we find somebody else that will get it done this year? So it's a company out of Flora, and they're planning to start work in September. You got all the hot stuff on the urban park already. The Dykeman restroom is progressing about 75% complete, right, Kevin? Yep. Yeah. Okay. I've met with 2 different playground sales reps on the Spencer Park South Playground. Met with Logan's Landing in the mayor's office to plan Christmas tree lighting. We did get a grant from the Cass County Community Foundation for soccer goals for Bishop and Fairview Parks. We are having issues with trail cameras, and we have another meeting coming up next week to talk about them some more. Did you get an invite for that? Okay, I'll get you an invite, I'm sorry. And then Christmas in the Park, our request for sponsorships has gone, that letter's gone out, thanks to Kelly and her hard work, and we have received some responses already. Kevin and I met with Servicescape staff, talk about the new setup at Spencer with additional trees to be wrapped if we can afford it. And so we also talked about where the Christmas tree is going to go there in Depot in the Iron Horse Park. So.
And with the 12 days of Christmas, the whole park will be back open again for this?
That's the plan. And then I think everything else is, I'll let Kevin and Kara talk about their stuff. I have also, we did talk to, we had a department heads in the finance committee met about 2025 wages for employees. And I also had a meeting with the finance committee on the 2025 budget. And then we also had in this summer staff picnic here a couple weeks ago, which was really nice. So, cool. And then, so the next thing was Millhouse Aquatic Center report. And I didn't have a chance to go back and look at last year's numbers, but I know they're higher. This summer's are higher than last year's all the way around. 7,931 persons attended the open swims. That includes the grant money that we were provided for free swims for people. So that made a difference for sure.
Did people take advantage of that?
Yes.
It was received very well from what I saw on Facebook and stuff like that, so,
Cool.
yes.
The neighbors were really unhappy with all the cars.
I'm sure they were, yeah, I'm sure they were. You one of those neighbors that was on it? No, you're okay.
Yeah.
Didn't bother me.
Okay.
We did 104 swim lessons, that's about average where our swim lessons is at. And we had 23 private pool rentals, and our income was $27,878 for the season, so.
It seemed like there's people over there every night after
Yeah,
6 o'clock.
yeah, there was a lot of rentals on a regular
Yeah.
basis, yeah.
Right.
So,
That's good.
I know, well, 23, if you divide that up by what the 8 or 9 weeks we were open,
Right. Less
So-
than 1 day.
yeah.
So the golf course that venue looks promising.
Yeah, I just went ahead and did that because I knew Dean's had to take his kids to, one of his kids to trying today, so, dollar rounds, this are up 18, this is from last year, we're up $1,865 rounds, that means people who have season tickets, that's how more often they've played this year. Daily rounds are people that are paying full price, and that's $1,206. And then our grand total of money that we're up is $39,024.13.
Great, great.
I think that's good too. So
Absolutely.
you got the golf course report now, so. Anyway, okay.
All right. Kara, come on up.
Hi, everybody. How are you guys doing?
Hey, how are you?
Doing good.
How are you?
Good.
I wanted to, so we had our 4th of July. I can't remember if we talked about that last.
No, you were not here.
Okay, I wasn't here. But I wanted to say a special thank you to our recreation and maintenance crews for their amazing teamwork. This is our first year where I felt like we really came together. I think the change of location was wonderful. It spread everything out so that we weren't so just, stuck into one tiny area. And every time I needed something, the maintenance crew was just there to help get everything set up. So thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. Also, thank you to Jason Crittenden and Mayor Martin for attending the event. Jason hung out for quite a while, and I think he got to kind of see some of the things that we experience, like people lighting off fireworks in the middle of people, in the middle of the crowd and things like that, and some of the smoking issues and things like that. But overall, we had a great event.
That's been a problem for many, many years, lighting
Yeah.
off fireworks and.
Yeah, and it's just dangerous, but I will say overall, we had a very safe event, and I also am really grateful to the Logansport Police Department. We didn't have any injuries. None, not at all. And
Great.
so, and our maintenance staff also handled the bulk of our traffic control, and then the special officers handled the traffic control later. Special officers are really great with the exit strategy that they use, and so we're grateful to them for that. We had an amazing summer with our programs, very busy, exhausting, but we were just touched by seeing the families and getting to know them. The Tudavukis came to a lot of our programs, and when you get to see the kids week after week, it just, you just develop relationships with them, and so it was a really beautiful thing, and I'm really grateful for Sydney and Heidi. We lost both of them to the schools, but that's okay, maybe they'll come back next summer. Our collaborations this summer included the Cass County Health Department, Empower Yoga Studio, Stand Up Cass County, Youth Services Alliance, Lisa Minnick, she did our yoga in the park, Lucy Reyna, Soil, and that stands for Seeds of Intentional Living, and Carly Kurtz, and she owns Education Station Daycare, and so I'm just really grateful for everybody who was willing to partner with us. And again, I think when we all come together, whether it be social media or just word of mouth, we just have more continuity and we get to touch more lives. And so we hosted pop-up art, Park in a Box, drop-in sports, and walking club. We obviously started with Green Guardians as well. That wasn't well received. I would like to try that again. I would like to get together with some of the local senior centers and talk more about doing walking club this fall, or whether it be fall or spring, because I do think walking club is a good idea. We didn't have big numbers, but we still had people coming, and so I think it's a great idea, but we need to talk to them to see what times of day would be best for them, because we can't assume that we know that. And so, and working with the health department, that was really fun because people could come get their vitals checked. So right now we are planning for, or I am planning for Howl at the Moon, Mother Son Therefore, Breakfast with Santa, and some of our fall break programs. Actually, Kevin and I are kind of working on Howl at the Moon together. So we did that last year and it was a blast. So I hope that you guys will come. As soon as I get the details finalized, I'll send them to you. Any questions? All right.
Good job. Thank you. All right, Kevin, come on up.
Come on down.
Evening.
Hey.
Oh yeah, I got plenty of time. I'll keep it
Are you on the schedule?
Yeah. Just making sure. There's 14 pages here. No.
Okay.
Besides just the normal stuff, I mean, we had a fantastic July for sure. honestly, I'm grateful and very appreciative of the summer help that we were able to get this year. We had a great group of kids, mostly all kids, that came together to really get the parks whipped into shape this year. We actually had 12 part-time employees, which is fantastic. We haven't seen this many decent employees for a long time. So having all these kids, we really were able to get a lot of the stuff we don't really get to a chance to be
Absolutely.
touched. Yeah. So plus all the projects that we've been trying to get accomplished. I'm sure everybody's seen. I do want to just highlight a couple of these that I think are really neat. We took some of the really big cedar trees that Dean had dropped over by the maintenance barn and got those to Bob Brown. We just got those back and into a couple of our parks. Riverside and Stonewall Park have brand new wood cedar benches. They are fantastic. Most people won't notice them, but I just wanted to, say these benches are amazing, and they just came from the golf course, and they're just nice to see in the park. We still have another one sitting back in the shop that we'll incorporate into our natural park at Houston once we get going on it, but they're wonderful. We did a very quick demolish of the Patriot Park playground. It was past its years of service and compliance, and with that area moving forward to its new designation for home and housing, we felt it necessary that it was time for that playground to be pulled out. It came out very successful in a day and was all cleaned up and seeded and everything. You couldn't tell after one day that there was a park there. So we still have swings in that area, and we will continue to maintain and clean that park until
We kept
development.
the basketball goals up, right?
Basketball goals are still there. The only thing we did was the main playground
New playground.
was taken down just for vandalism and safety concerns. It was a heavily abused park for years. So we saw that being accomplished. And then, of course, working on the new bathrooms up at Dykeman, that's been quite a project. It's been great, and yes, we're very close. We're kind of stalled because the old bathrooms are still functional. There's still water, all the pump and well systems hooked up to those. So we're kind of waiting for the rentals to decrease in the area so we can move the pump and move all that stuff. There's quite a little changeover time for it, and we'll see that here real soon. And like I said, just really much, we had a great year, great summer, great July with everybody, and if you see my maintenance report, you'll see there's plenty there. So I'll just keep it brief. And questions?
Yeah, did we get a quote for the camera stuff for the trails?
I met again today with a representative from Verkada, and we went around to all of our trail cameras that are currently being employed by RTEC.
Okay.
And we had talked about different methodologies that we could use that would save us money and get us into a longer-term warranty, a 10-year, and could potentially, if we go that route, incorporate the cameras that we already have into a better ecosystem with their environment. I am currently using one of their cameras. They gave me a 30-day trial of one of their PTZs, which is a pan-tilt zoom camera at the dog park. And I could pull it up right now, and it does tracking, it does analytics, it does so much more than what we're currently doing. Tracking and people of interest, you can,
Sure.
If someone enters the park that we know that's a person of interest, it'll notify us if that person's there.
Wow.
Or if a car comes into. So we're kind of working that direction on our trails. We still have that meeting coming up for sure.
Yeah.
But it is a different company that we could incorporate ours and go that direction, which I think
Okay.
would be a better direction. But again, it comes to finance
Especially
and
for
money.
long-term, if we're just thinking for a couple of years, yeah, fine, what we got is great, but
It's
we're gonna keep these.
Yeah, we gotta make it long-term.
Yeah.
this is a long-term commitment that would, like I said, a 10-year warranties on all their stuff. So if something breaks, they would notify me instantly, and so next day they would send out the newest and greatest camera or lock sensors or alarms, because they cover a lot of stuff. It's not just cameras, it's detections of all sorts. So their crew are very quick. And not to say that our tech hasn't been, this is just a little bit bigger company that could service our area a little bit better.
Where are they out of?
Verkada they're a bigger corporation, but they have people that do work for them.
Okay.
So I'm working with a company that is a gold standard company that installs for them. So with them being gold certified, we would get an even better discount. They can offer us their products at a much discounted price, a more discounted price. So again, that's it. I don't have the numbers in front of me. We just met today. He's going to work his hardest at getting those
To
numbers.
see if we got them yet or not.
Yeah.
We did get one from Artec.
We have our tech, what they proposed,
Under the money that we have.
Okay.
and they're not proposing much. It's just an upgrade to the system.
Right.
Verkadas will be different aspects. He's going to break it down to new stuff, or there'll be options to it. So we'll see some numbers here real soon on that.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you.
Visitors' comments? Okay. Board member comments, Eamon?
No comment today.
Mike?
Comment.
Jason? Sam?
No comment.
Okay, well, just to go into a little bit more detail on the trail cameras, like I said, when I emailed you guys, we did have a meeting with the mayor, Kelly Lehman, Travis, Dave Morris was there, Jan and I were there. We are having another meeting next week. A couple of things needed to happen. We needed to get some quotes for cameras, and there has to be a conversation with the hospital about moving the monitoring from the hospital to either the police station or to the Parks Department offices. We would rather have it at the Parks Department offices. I think Travis would rather have it there, and I think Kelly Lehman was a little bit more towards having it at the police department than at the Parks building.
Okay.
So, but, once we have our meeting next week, I will update you guys more with what's going on. But everybody that was in that meeting, realizes that we got lucky. That nothing more serious happened. And it has attention of everybody. So, once we have that meeting next week, I'll update you guys with what's going on. And then just my usual, Jan, Kelly, Kara, Kevin, Dean, who's not here, thank you guys for all the great work you've done this summer. Been challenging with the wind we've had and trees being down. It's been kind of it's been kind of a challenging summer. I know Dean's had those same issues out at the golf course, but you guys have done a fantastic job, and I appreciate that. With that being said, we are adjourned at 6:45.